Long story short, this video is late because English class. Hey, it's Liz, and it's not Monday, it's Wednesday. I know, pretty bad. And it's not even for one of my valid excuses that I listed in the beginning of the year, for which I am very sorry. But in a way, I was kind of dying. I was in AP Lit, which is, a very demanding class. I'm sorry that this video is late, but I'm here now. Anyways, let's just take a moment to appreciate this beauty because, I mean, come on. I know that you can't really see it. Let's see if we can, fix that, but here. So we've got these little bats, right? That's cute. I mean, Skeleton Gerard Way is always there. Got this little thing in the middle of Tiny Dan and Tiny Phil. We've got candles. We've got these jack-o'-lanterns. That pumpkin, look, I don't know if you can actually see that because I can't see where my camera is pointing because I'm short, but, come on. It's good. I mean, come on. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I forgot to zoom in on one of the most important pieces. The Dan and Phil calendar. With no further ado, let's talk about what we're actually talking about, which is Wonder Woman. I know, I am the last person on the internet to have seen Wonder Woman, and that is really depressing, but it was a good movie. It had social importance, and honestly, I'm just in love with Diana. It was good, okay? It blessed me. I feel like I am better as a human being because I've seen it. This movie was so good, right? And, I grew up watching the old kind of cartoon, The Justice League of America, which was pretty much, Wonder Woman was not portrayed as well as she should have been, in my opinion, because though she was lovely and wonderful, you get that kind of impression that she and Superman are together, which I've never understood why that's a ship, an assumption, anything like that. It's beyond me. I don't know why people think it. But I digress. Let's talk about the movie. The movie starts off after, the whole intro of her looking at the photograph with a bunch of Amazons fighting and, training and being Amazons. And I'm really enthusiastic about Amazons. That's why I made an OC in my Percy Jackson fanfiction to be an Amazon, because I love them. I think they are the coolest. I want to be an Amazon, and if I couldn't be an Amazon, I would easily take being beaten up by an Amazon as a close second, okay? Look. So watching this whole thing happen was just, amazing. I loved it. And you see tiny Diana watching them and mimicking them, and just being so cute. And I just love it so much. First of all, if you haven't seen the movie or just generally don't know anything about Amazons are all women. Always women. They are female warriors. They came to be a thing in ancient Greece. I don't know if they were an actual, obviously not a magical thing, but still, I don't know if there was an actual group that did this because I'm not up to date on my real history, only my mythological history, but basically the Amazons came to be because, well, even now it's a problem, but it was a problem as well in ancient Greece. First point of relevance because of rape being a prevalent thing that happened. They're like, hey, if we train and we can beat people up, then they're not gonna generally want to do that. Now, did that stop some gods from taking advantage of them? No, of course not. That, unfortunately, is one of the worst aspects of Greek mythology, and that is the fact that, especially when Zeus or Poseidon are involved, women were powerless against them, and that's just... Anyways, the Amazons are basically a group of women who decided that they didn't want to be powerless anymore, and they only had women, occasionally would, have men for reproductive purposes, because Amazons are not immortal, but other than that, yeah. Now, Diana is a demigod, and she does not know that she's a demigod because her mother has not told her that. Her mother has also told her several stories that mankind is good, and this instills this pure heart in her, even well into her young adult years. And So when a man in the middle of World War II washes up on their beach and is followed by some Germans who want him dead, it's only natural for her to think the best of him and want to help mankind, because in her mind the only reason that people would hurt each other is if they were being influenced by the evil Ares. So she goes out there and she's in her Amazon warrior gear. She's really looked down upon when she's brought in because she's not only a woman, but she's a beautiful woman, and therefore she's expected to be delicate and ladylike and obedient to men. And she's just like, I don't know where you're getting all of these crazy ideas, but I'm gonna go punch someone right now. And like, she has these bulletproof bracelets, her cool sword and shield, and like leaves everyone in awe, because it's one thing for a man to go out and do that kind of thing, and they'd be a little amazed. But for a woman to go out and do that is crazy. You may be thinking, okay, but how can we really, like, discuss the fact that she's, you know, a woman when she's not most women? And that is important. I saw a Tumblr post about this that talks about how Steve and Diana are presented as not the standard. You see the rest of the main characters be more average looking, which means, you know, not looking flawless. At the end of the movie, Steve's secretary comes back to lead a mission of her own, and she's in charge of 3 men, and the 3 men look at her because she's a bit more average looking. She's not as objectively beautiful as Diana was, and she's, you know, all of these things, but she shows, hey, just like her, I can still be a leader, and that's important. Now, let's move on to the men of the movie, not including Steve, although we will talk about Steve, I promise. One of the men in this group is not white. I can't remember where in the Middle East he's from, but that's where he's from. And this sets, like, so many important things. First of all, that he's going to be able to do. He can play off of people's pre-existing stereotypes to sneak Steve into places, which is great. And, you know, just himself, he's a good person. I enjoyed his character. He says a very important line where he says that he doesn't want to be fighting, he wants to be an actor, but he can't be because he's the wrong color. And obviously this is true before, like, the 1960s. It was very difficult for any non-white actor to go very far, but believe it or not, still today it is very hard for non-white actors to get very far. And so this is not only being historically accurate, but it's being culturally accurate to the things we are experiencing right now. All of the things that apply to us as a society in the present tense, even though this is something that took place during World War II, are what make this movie so important. It highlights a lot of one of the other characters' PTSD and how that was very negatively affecting him and his ability to do things that usually he would be very good at. And that is another thing that's important. I think that a lot of people don't understand PTSD or the fact that it affects different people different ways, and I felt like that was a very good representation. That is all the time that we have for today, but hey, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below if there is anything that I maybe didn't have time to add yet, or that you just generally want to note about the movie in general. You can follow me in the links in the description box below. And, yeah, I would totally keep up with my Wattpad because I am on, you know, I'm both of my Wattpads because I am so close to finishing so many books. Be a bro, share this video with another bro, and if you have not done so yet, subscribe, because there's a part 2 of this video and you're gonna wanna be here for it.